Everyone talks about making new friends, growing your circle, staying connected, being everywhere at once. But you know what? Nobody really talks about the other side. I'm talking about the people who quietly let friendships fade. The ones who stop responding to group chats that used to stay active all night. The ones who start turning down invitations they used to say yes to without even thinking. And somewhere along the way, they actually stopped feeling guilty about it. Here's what's interesting. A study by Oxford University tracked 3 million people and found that social circles start shrinking after age 25, and they keep shrinking for the rest of your life. But look, here's what most people get wrong about this. It's not a loss, it's a filter. These are just some of the most common types of people who do this. There are more, obviously. But if you've ever quietly pulled back from a friendship, one of these probably explains why. Type 1. The Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper is intentional, deliberate, and to be honest, a little ruthless. At some point, the Gatekeeper started paying attention, not just to what people said, but to how they actually felt after spending time with them. You know the feeling, that one friend who only shows up when they need something, or the one who turns every single conversation back to themselves, or that group that somehow always leaves you feeling smaller than when you arrived. And somewhere along the way, the Gatekeeper made a quiet decision. I'm not doing this anymore. No dramatic ending, no big confrontation, just a slow, conscious withdrawal. They stopped initiating, they stopped making the effort, and they just let those friendships quietly fade. Stanford psychologist Laura Carstensen calls this emotional selectivity. As we get older, we get sharper at recognizing which relationships actually nourish us, and we start choosing accordingly. The Gatekeeper isn't cold, they're just done pretending that every relationship deserves the same access to their time and energy. They decide who gets in and who stays. Type 2. The Watcher. The Watcher didn't make a decision, they ran an experiment. At some point, the Watcher just stopped reaching out, just to see what would happen. They had always been the one to text first, the one to plan first, the one to check in first. They were the one keeping the friendship alive on life support. And one day, quietly, they stopped. And yeah, the silence was its own answer. No message, no call, no, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Just nothing. Research by sociologist Gerald Mollenhurst shows that we replace about half of our close friends every 7 years, simply because one person stops carrying the weight. The Watcher didn't end those friendships, they just stopped carrying them alone. And what fell? To be honest, it wasn't really there to begin with. Type 3. The Changed One. This one is a bit harder to explain because it wasn't about the other person at all. The changed one didn't cut anyone out, and they didn't even notice an imbalance. They just grew in a direction those friendships didn't follow. The person who had those friends, the one who stayed out late, laughed at those jokes, and shared those old values, that person has quietly shifted. Different priorities, a different direction, a different version of themselves they're still getting to know. And some friendships, they just belong to who they used to be. Psychology calls this identity evolution. As we grow, our relationships have to reorganize around who we're becoming, not who we were. The changed one doesn't regret those friendships. They're actually grateful for them. But they're also honest enough to admit that not everything from your past was meant to follow you into your future. Type 4. The Realist. Look, the Realist has nothing to do with toxicity or growth. It's just simpler than that. It's just math. Oxford researcher Robin Dunbar found that most people can only maintain about 5 genuinely close friendships at any given time. Not 50, not 20, 5. The Realist read that, and then something just clicked. Because they had been trying to maintain 25 and were exhausting themselves in the process. Spreading themselves thin across too many group chats, and too many we should catch up conversations that never actually happened. So they made a different choice, not who to cut, but who to truly keep. Research shows it takes around 200 hours of real shared experience to build a close friendship. And look, 200 hours, that's not just a few likes on a screen. That's dozens of long drives, late-night talks, and actual life lived together. The Realist decided they'd rather give 200 genuine hours to a few people than scatter 10 distracted hours across 20. Their circle is smaller now, but the people inside it get all of them. And for the first time, that actually feels like enough. So yeah, here is what all four types share. They stopped treating friendship like an obligation, something to maintain out of history or guilt, and they started treating it like something worth actually protecting. Your shrinking circle isn't a sign that you're failing at relationships, and honestly, it's a sign that you're finally taking them seriously. So, which one are you? The gatekeeper who decides who gets access? The watcher who stepped back and let the silent speak? The changed one who grew in a different direction? Or the realist who finally did the math? Tell me in the comments. I'm genuinely curious which one describes you more. And if this changed the way you see your friendships, hit subscribe. We break down the psychology that actually explains you.